Hey guys, Dr. Morse, injury experts. So we're finally likely to get the Chris Godwin debut in week 4. And this is why they did not put him on PUP, because they felt there was a decent chance he was going to return before the mandatory minimum of 4 games missed. If he was started on the PUP or on the IR, then he would have automatically had to have missed all 4 games. Now, there's still a little bit of a silver lining here because Mike Evans is expected to miss probably 2, maybe close to 3 weeks with his hamstring. Emeka Egbuka is still a little banged up with his hip and groin injuries. So we might and likely will see the debut today or this week with Chris Godwin, secondary to that significant left ankle fracture dislocation. Now, I do not expect him to smash in week 4, but I expect him to be relevant. Why? Because he still has the ability to be semi-elite in the slot, despite still having a little bit of rust to work through. Now, the good news is that with each week, he's going to get a little bit better. He's probably a buy low or he's probably going to get more towards value, but most people are probably still pretty skeptical about him. I'm not overly worried about re-injury, and I think realistically by week 8, he's going to be in really good shape. You basically have already paid for his injury risk for the first 3 weeks of the season. Now remember, he was super elite last year before this injury. He was in the Puka Nacua range. Like, he was really, really good. And now I would not be surprised if they put him back in the slot, where Emeka predominantly has been, from what I remember, because of Mike Evans' injury, and they're going to put Emeka back out wide and Chris in the slot. Now, they don't have a lot of whole other options. They have Sterling Shepard, obviously Bucky Irving and Rashad White are there, and then they really have just Cade Otton, who hasn't been very good at all. So it's predominantly going to be Bucky Irving, it's going to be Emeka Egbuka, and there's going to be Chris Godwin. Those are going to be the main guys for the offense for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So even if only Godwin gets 6 or 8 targets, which is very good, and does not a whole lot with them, he's still probably going to have a floor of 5 to 10 fantasy points, which is not awful, especially if you're using him in your flex as opposed to your wide receiver 1 or 2. But he has the upside of potentially catching a touchdown and getting into the 10 to 15 range. Maybe he gets a little bit more than that. But that's what I'm expecting in week 4 in his 2025 debut.